evening, citizens. Welcome to the fun house. You made it. Let's fly together.
When the servers are on fire, chatting through the bugs and laughing when the ships expire. From fresh faces in an aurora to vets in the black, you bring the energy that keeps the whole stream on track. Salvage runs and cargo chaos, voice box calling out loud. You're right there in the chat, turning bitches into proud. Comms are open, the verse is live tonight. Because you're here, everything feels right. This is our time in the back. And now it's alive in you. Star citizen streams where the funhouse crew comes through. From 4.7 craft into massive fleet fights, we're in the verse together through the days and nights. You make the chaos worth it. Every laugh and every win. The announcer lag is nothing without you jumping in. Join the ride, quantum spooled and ready to go. With all of you watching, the verse starts to glow. Wipe into pure community. FreeFly, madness, old stories, voice control gone wrong. You're the reason every stream just feels like home. Thrusters hot, the chat is popping loud. You make every moment feel alive. This is our time in the black, and now it's alive in you. Star citizen streams where the funhouse crew comes through. From 4.7 craft into massive fleet fights, we're in the together through the days and nights. You make the chaos worth it. Every laugh and every win. The announcer live is nothing without you jumping in. Join the ride, quantum spooled and ready to go. With all of you watching, the verse starts to glow. Thank you for being here, citizens. Hit that like, drop a follow if you're new. The announcer live is live because of you. See you in the black. Fly safe, have fun.
Welcome, I'm Paul Watson and I built these voice...
You're in the Oratani Arena!
What is good, everyone? Welcome to a stream of Star Citizen. We are in today with a little bit of a treat. We've got a few different things. We're going to kickstart by watching this awesome video from Paul.
I built these voice commands for Star Citizen so that we don't have to touch half our keyboard anymore. Let's see how it works. Request launch permission.
Complying. Stand by.
Retract landing gear.
Affirmative, Commander. Raising landing gear.
Open Mobiglass.
Affirmative. Displaying.
Switch to gun mode.
Guns rearmed. Fire control reset.
Request docking.
Seeking permissions now. Stand by.
Yeah, that's all running through voice commands. It listens for what you say and then triggers the same keybind you'd normally press. So if you said something like deploy landing gear, it'll just hit the landing gear key. It runs on voice attack, which is the engine that listens for these phrases, and then it executes the commands by pressing a key. And then the voice pack adds all the commands and responses, which are pre-configured, so that you get both control and personality. And HCS Voice Packs, by the way, is an officially licensed partner, so this is built specifically for Star Citizen and has been for the past 10 years. If you want to try it all out, it's on hcsvoicepacks.com. If you're new, just grab one of the starter bundles, and that includes voice attack and a voice pack, so you'll have everything you need in one go. Once you've got it, you'll get an email with access to download the HCS Hub, which is basically your...
Oh, my internet just went red. Just bear me a second, guys and girls. Let's see what's happening here. Bear me a second, we'll go back to that.
Welcome, I'm Paul Watson and I bundles, and that includes voice attack and a voice pack, so you'll have everything you need in one go. Once you've got it, you'll get an email with access to download the HCS Hub, which is basically your control center. You can see everything you own, hit install, and it'll handle all the setup for you with no messing around with files. It also keeps everything updated automatically and lets you manage all your voice packs in one place. Then all you need to do is jump into Star Citizen and start talking. Honestly, this makes flying way more immersive, especially in VR. Links are below if you want to try it out. See you in the verse.
Great little video there from HCS. So, I think we should go and get into the game, don't you guys and girls? We'll help a few other newbies out today as well. If you're new to the game, welcome on board, everyone. So, my name is the announcer, and we are about to go and get immersed into Star Citizen and all its glory. So, we're going to load up the game right now for you all and get voice attack and HCS voice packs loaded up. But yeah, unfortunately, Hacklord, it's just because it's got a little bit more hungry over the years. That's why, like, I used to be able to play it, but now I can't. It's like, it's annoying, but it is what it is. Let's get the music on. Welcome in, everyone, by the way. Oh, apparently we got a bit of an update to do. So let's go and do that update while we're listening to a bit of Radio Rotani. What's everyone been up to recently anyway? What you guys and girls been doing? Alright, let's get this update started. That's not too big. Okay, nearly updated, 12 meg left. How is everyone doing today, you beautiful souls? welcome in. We're going to be sharing a little bit of a Star Citizen. If you are new to the game, feel free to join in because we're going to be running some reputation missions and more.
Voice comes when silent hours ago, just the hum of the drag. It's in every phrase I left behind, keeping me alive.
Oh, it's actually a 5 gig update. So, if you are new to the game, you can get in through what they call a FreeFly event at the moment, which is a way to try to see if you can even play the game, because it is a hungry game. It is a very hungry game, and I would definitely recommend giving it a go before you buy it.
This is how we hold on. Tonight.
So, we're going to build a little bit of reputation up tonight.
Even when the signal's low, Pago Bay had plenty, but my mind is full of home. Each is on the dashboard, all the ones I used to know. Every jump point feels like goodbye, every landing feels like hope. Or a tiny one, it's strong repeat, helping me cool.
All right. We're nearly done. But for those of you that don't know about the game, let's show you a bit about the latest patch. We'll show you a bit on the official YouTube channel while waiting for this update to come through. Great time to get in a game, honestly. We're going to have a look at doing one of them breaker missions soon, actually. Let's have a look to see if we got any other videos popped up recently. 5 days ago, behind the Hull B.
The Hull B is our premium medium freight ship in the universe. It's capable of carrying a significant amount of cargo between stations within a system or across multiple solar systems.
It sits between the Hull A, which is kind of your entry into the cargo hauling profession, and the Hull C, which is kind of big, serious interstellar cargo hauling runs.
In terms of scaling and role, the Hull B is closer to the Hull A in terms of gameplay flow and mechanics, without the challenges of the more complicated setup and flow of the Hull C.
When you first look at the Hull B, you definitely know it's a MISC ship. MISC is a high-end industrial manufacturer. It's a very clean art style, Visually, you kind of got these really like large, clean, panelled, kind of bulbous shapes.
Think about the aesthetic of the 50s and bring it to a more futuristic.
You've got these really large, heavy-duty landing gear. You can clearly see it being built to take a lot of weight.
And then move along the top, and there's some really nice detail, some nice ribbing where the remote turret sits. Continuing along the top, there's a nice spoiler towards the rear.
When you see this ship collapsed, it feels almost like a little shuttle that could fly about. But then as you start to look at the back, you've got these massive engines on the rear of it, and then that gives you a bit of a visual indication that maybe there's something a bit more to the ship than what you see at first glance.
Much like the rest of the Hull series, it has a compacting and extending spindle in the centre section that allows the ship to have a smaller silhouette and shape when not carrying cargo, and then expanding out to carry the maximum amount of cargo.
It's quite a marvel of engineering in how much spindle and cargo grid we've managed to fit into such a small space when it's collapsed.
It holds 512 SCU of cargo, up to 1632 SCU crates. You can either load the cargo manually with handheld tractor beams, or the co-pilot has access to 2 front-facing remote tractor beam turrets in order to load cargo from within the vehicle.
External cargo has the great benefit that it is by far the quickest to load and unload. You can simply rock up to a location and then use the tractor beams on the ship to attach and detach cargo, rather than having to thread these larger, especially the 32 SU containers, through restricted doorways at the back of ships. So you have to be smart about where you use the Hull B. It's quick to load, but also, if you find yourself in a tricky situation, it's very quick for someone else to unload it for you. When it was first announced, it was promised to be able to land with its full capacity of cargo. However, over time, the cargo system changed, the design of ships have changed. And when you look at the Hull A and the Hull C, they have a sort of cross arrangement, and doing this for the Hull B and the stated amount of cargo that we had said at the start, it just simply couldn't land without having the most comical, super long, gangly legs. So from that point onwards, we went back to concept, had multiple iterations of different cargo arrangements to suit the new capacity, and we settled on moving from the cross arrangement to rotating it 45 degrees into the X arrangement you see today.
And it still looks really good when it's open or closed, but it's still able to hold all of its cargo when landed.
The Hull B is great in that you can load it from both within hangars and external freight elevators. And then in the future, we want to allow you to be able to also use the facilities of docking, so you can truly load it from anywhere with any sort of cargo. Another advantage of the Hull B compared to, say, the Caterpillar, which has a very similar amount of cargo capacity, is the Caterpillar is a large hangar and the Hull B is a medium, so you have more accessible locations to land throughout the universe, being that there are more medium hangars in general than large.
You walk into the entrance area, which has our 2 suit lockers, a weapon locker, and a small bench to prepare yourself for leaving the ship. Coming up the personnel lift, to your left is a door to engineering. This houses most of the major components for the ship and the engineering screen.
Centre stage in there is the big mechanism that allows the ship to retract and extend its cargo grid.
Heading to your right from the personnel lift, you walk into the main corridor. This is a main thoroughfare of the ship. This also houses some of the other components. To one side is a mess hall.
You have a 2-seat table and a kitchenette.
On the opposite side of the corridor is the habitation area.
When you get in, you have like a bunk bed on your left, a nice desk with its fridge and some shelves. You also have on the right space on the wall to hang up posters, and then the bathroom door.
As you enter into the bridge of the ship, as soon as you walk in, you know you're in a MISC ship. I know the MISC dashboards can be a little bit divisive. Maybe, on some of our previous ships, we maybe pushed the size of the dashboard a little bit too far, so it was something that we were quite conscious of with the Hull B. but we have pushed the pilot and the co-pilot seat further forward, so you're kind of sat more into that letterbox, just to give you better visibility out.
Very happy with the Hull B. I think it's a great ship. Looking forward to seeing lots of them populate the verse.
The ship is for those people who are more serious about cargo, who are those people who need maybe slightly more cargo space than a RAFT, for example.
I think it really is that sweet spot between cargo capacity and size.
Awesome ship. I can guarantee you guys flying it around now for about a week. It is a great ship. Now, those of you that are also new to the game that are like, well, what ship shall I get? The Aurora Mark II is a great way to get into the game.
Quintessential starter Star Citizen ship.
For people that have been with the project a long time, it was one of the first ships that they saw.
So it gave you that first experience of boarding your own ship, exploring the interior, although limited, and then finally climbing into the pilot seat and then taking off for your first mission or exploration. Whilst the game has evolved over the last decade and we have learned a lot more about building spaceships in that time, we felt that now was the right time to go revisit the Aurora series.
Doing a follow-up of the original Aurora is actually quite the task because you have to make sure that it's as beloved as the original.
The Mark II combines the classic DNA of the original Mark I Aurora and then brings it up to modern day standards, both in terms of visuals and gameplay loop.
RSI tend to want to kind of push the boundaries a little bit. They want to look back and see what they've done in the past and what was successful, but they're not scared to really embrace new ideas. We've tried to keep the overall proportions and styling of the base Aurora with the Mark II, but we just tried to sharpen it up.
It has a really angular style. It looks really sleek. Everything flows, and it has this sort of layered, armored look.
The circular door is still there to enter the ship, but it's hidden by the newer layered RSI door designs.
We've still got those really iconic 4 wings down the sides that give the ship its length.
There's also some doors that open up and they show the VTOLs underneath, which are these fans that help support the ship while it's changing trajectories.
There's even a cool new feature where you can vault onto the top of the ship over the front canopy.
My favorite part of that entire ship is actually the back section. It has tons of detail that all lines up towards the center of the ship.
Something we were keen to follow up with is some of the RSI ships have transforming states, such as the Scorpius.
We were playing with the idea of like, do we open the wings, do we not open the wings? And as soon as we kind of started playing with the idea and seeing how it looked, it just felt natural.
The base Aurora Mark II comes with 4 size 2 weapon hardpoints, as well as 4 size 2 missile hardpoints, each defaulting to 2 size 1 missiles.
The guns are actually attached to what the wings are attached to. So when the wings pop off, the guns are still attached to the ship.
So if you lose your wings, you're not totally out of the fight?
No, so if you lose your wings, you'll lose your missiles, and you'll lose the VTOL if you lose the bottom wings.
When we were doing the original design for the Mark II Aurora, one thing that came up was, do we want to do variants or do modules?
In terms of production, a variant of a ship is actually a lot of work on our part. You have to redo modeling, you have to almost rethink the whole entire ship.
The ship now, instead of being a variant, comes with 2 different modules.
And the advantage of modules is you buy one Aurora Mark II, and forever in the future, when upgrades happen to the ship, you can grab that module and then add it to your own ship.
The TS module, or what we internally refer to as the cargo module, provides an additional 6 SEU cargo on a drop lift, which takes the whole cargo capacity of the Aurora Mark II with it equipped to 8 SE, which is pretty competitive in a starter ship. And then one of the big changes with the TS cargo module and the base Aurora is the cargo is held internally rather than underslung underneath, so it's more protected.
So it's great for somebody who's just getting started, who wants to do hulling missions before upgrading to something bigger like a Zeus.
Or you can either go with a defense module which adds 8 S2 missiles and also 1 S1 shield generator in the back of it.
So if you add 8 S2 missiles, you're much more lethal. And if you add another S1 shield, you're adding 50% more shield to your ship.
So the player can decide whichever one suits their playstyle the most.
In the future, we can definitely foresee other modules coming along, and anybody who has the Aurora Mark II now will be able to use those modules later on.
One of the kind of limiting factors of the Mark I was its overall size. With the Mark II, we built it more from the inside out, so we knew all the features that we wanted it to deliver.
You get in from the airlock door. On your left, you have the nice pilot seat. We have a nice view from there. We have a lot of glass, so we can really see space from pretty much everywhere when you turn around. You have 2 shelves for mission boxes, so you can take the ship to do missions. You have engineering screen with components below that. If you continue on the right, you have a suit locker and a weapon rack. And at the end of the ship, you have the bed with a lot of space compared to the first Aurora. When you lie down, you have a big screen on top of your head.
It's very enclosed, but it all has a very functional style to it. Everything like sort of feels like it should be where it is. The paints are awesome. We have a lot of cool options.
We have a solid black one. We have a bronze and green one. There's one tint that's iridescent that's inspired by an Aurora Borealis. I think that one came out really well. One of my favorite tints was inspired by an old video game that I grew up with that I loved. And I think when the players find it, they'll be doing some barrel rolls.
Alongside the Mark II Aurora, we also wanted to celebrate the Mark I Aurora, and for that reason we decided to introduce a 6th special edition variant called the Aurora Mark I SE.
So the Mark I Special Edition is really our sending off of the Mark I. It's taking all of the best elements from the different Mark I models that we do and combining them into one.
So it takes the improved cargo of the CL, the base level of the MR, the weapon loadout and the intakes of the LN, and then the luxurious take of the LX seat.
We also wanted to give it a really nice, unique paint. And we wanted to give it a nice update to the interior in terms of its materials and its colors. So it kind of feels like a high-end sports model of some of the cars you see out and about.
So is the Mark II replacing the Mark I?
No, it's not replacing it. So you still get to keep all your Mark I Auroras, RSI,